evening. Today is March 28th. This is The View with Catherine Chang. Today's topic is President Tsai hosts virtual talk with Shinzo Abe. Taiwan President Tsai had a virtual talk with former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe on March 22nd. Ukrainian crisis and Taiwan joint CPTPP are the focus topics. Here are some points. A. Regarding the Ukrainian crisis, President Tsai said Moscow's invasion of Ukraine was not without implications for Taiwanese people. Well, I think what President Tsai said means Taiwanese aware from the Russia-Ukraine war that Taiwan has to strengthen its national defense and protect its sovereignty. Well, actually, Taiwan government is now considering extending military service from 4 months to 1 year. B. As to Russia's invasion of Ukraine, both President Tsai and Shinzo Abe agree that any attempts to change the status quo by force would not be tolerated. C. As to CPTPP, Shinzo Abe reiterated that the support for Taiwan's bid to join CPTPP. I think it is worth mentioning that Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has always been supportive of Taiwan. He once said that Taiwan emergency is Japanese emergency. Chinese President Xi Jinping and Korea President-elect Yoon Suk-yeol had a phone call last Friday. President Xi said China and South Korea are permanent and unmovable neighbors. Well, it is important to have good ties between us. However, well, I have to say that it should be Taiwan to tell China that Taiwan and China are also unmovable neighbors. So Chinese fighters should stop invading Taiwan's ADIZ and stop putting pressure on Taiwan. Ukrainians fight for their country, and the Taiwanese will do too. Here are the top stories. Today, we have 34 domestic cases. First, I want to talk about Zelensky said Ukraine is ready for neutrality in Russia's peace deal. Zelensky said that a neutral stance will have to be guaranteed by third parties and put to a referendum. However, he also said that we don't discuss denazifications with the Russia Federation at all. Since Russia President Putin put a denazification of Ukraine on top of a list, so I don't think the fifth peace talk will succeed. Well, the next round of peace talks will be held in Turkey on March 29th. Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba said that, well, the peace negotiations with Russia were difficult and there is no consensus with Russia on the first points. Well, as to the controversy between Joe Biden and Putin, we know that Biden said Putin can remain in power. U.S. President Joe Biden had a speech in Poland, and he said, well, Putin is really a butcher. For God's sake, these men cannot remain in power. However, Joe Biden changed what he said the next day when he was asked by a reporter that whether he was calling for a regime change in the country on March 27th. He said no. Well, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken also confirmed that the United States has no plan to bring about regime change in Russia, and Putin cannot be in power to wage war. Well, bringing back to Taiwan, U.S. Indo-Pacific military chief said Chinese threat to Taiwan is serious. U.S. Indo-Pacific Commander Admiral John Aquilino said that, I see the pressure increasing, and with it, the need to be prepared for any eventuality. Well, according to Financial Times, the Russia invasion of Ukraine showed that the Asian nations must really take the possibility of a Chinese attack on Taiwan seriously. In the end, I want to share with you, President Tsai held a virtual talk with former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. Shinzo Abe said that Taiwan's CPTPP negotiations is currently underway with the United Kingdom, and we look forward to Taiwan's accession as soon as possible. And he also said that, well, I will hope to visit Taiwan again. We know that in 2011, Abe Shinzo visited Taiwan as a House of Representatives member and met with Tsai Ing-wen. At that time, she was the chairman of DPP. Well, that would be the view for today. This is Monday, and I hope you all have a nice Monday. And I will see you again.